And one day after recommending Moderna boosters for millions of Americans, the FDA now unanimously voted the J&J vaccine booster for everyone 18 and older, saying it can be administered after just 2 months. Right now, about 5% of fully vaccinated people have received a booster shot, but it looks like those numbers could be on the rise. For more on the FDA decision and the current impact of all those boosters, let's bring in ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton. So, Darian, what's your reaction to the approval of these new boosters, and what does it even mean?
My reaction is that I'm expecting a lot of questions in the next couple of days, not just from my patients, but my friends and my family. What this means, and this was a healthy discussion that I sat and listened to, it was basically entertaining the idea is a second shot of the Johnson & Johnson booster effective and helpful in preventing disease? And the answer, in terms of the preliminary information that we have, seems to be yes. And so that is what led the agreement in allowing or approving the second dose of Johnson & Johnson booster. But of course, we'll have to wait for the CDC to create official recommendations.
So J&J got the approval vote today. The FDA is saying this booster can be administered after just 2 months now. Does this mean that J&J's effectiveness actually wanes after just 2 months?
That's a great question, and that was actually brought up during the meeting. The question of whether or not the vaccine is waning in its effectiveness, and we look at a couple of different variables. The first of which seems to be holding steady, and that is that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, as well as the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine, are proving to be steady in their effectiveness in preventing hospitalizations and deaths. But the next question of breakthrough infections, is there any way that we can improve to prevent breakthrough infections? And it seems as though a second shot of the J&J booster can help with that. But the data is still mixed, preliminary, and a lot of the information that has come in so far is relatively small.
And so as more boosters get approved, the chances of people mixing and matching, I understand, will increase. So what are the FDA and CDC saying about mixing and matching, and are there risks to doing this?
So right now they're actually having a conversation about this as we speak, and it does not seem in the reports that I've read released by the NIH that there is no safety signals or red flags that mixing and matching provides any increase in risk. The question is, what is the benefit? And overall, it seems as though those who mix and match, from those who've gotten a Johnson & Johnson and then follow up with an mRNA vaccine, seem to have a higher level of antibodies. But Kira, as you and I both know, we've talked about this a lot. Antibodies are a part of the picture, but they're not the whole picture. They help us to understand trends, but they don't immediately translate to reality. As we can see, all of these vaccines are still proving to be effective, as are other parts of our immune system that help us fight infection. And so we're going to use this information to help supplement what we already know and try to move forward and make decisions as time moves on.
Now, still 66 million eligible Americans are unvaccinated. It's a pretty big number. So how does that number affect what we're going to see this winter?
I'm hopeful that we will not see any surges in the next couple of months. I've been following a lot of the statisticians who are predicting that we'll continue to see a nadir, but we have to have a healthy level of caution as we step into the colder months. We move indoors and we have decreased ventilation, and by doing that, or by preventing that, I think we need to increase our mitigation efforts, especially around these high-risk activities. And that means vaccinating all of those who are eligible, and also paying attention. If you're traveling to a state or community that has high COVID-19 rates, maybe you would want to make a different option. Maybe you want to grab your mask, and maybe you want to make sure that where you're going and participating with, those people are vaccinated.
Now, the White House recently announced also that it will lift restrictions for fully vaccinated foreign nationals coming to the U.S. So what role, Darian, do vaccines play in other mitigation efforts in this process?
They play an incredible role. We know that those who are unvaccinated are 5 times more likely to get infected. So then we can assume that transmission increases. And we've seen how that plays out on a national level. States that have low vaccination rates have higher rates of COVID-19 or cases of COVID-19. And we've also seen how that plays out around the world. I think that approving this, allowing those to travel in who are fully vaccinated, is an appropriate step to step into our new normal. But I think allowing other mitigation efforts to partake in that so that we can even decrease the risk even more. And that means such things as getting tested before and after travel. But I do predict, Kara, that the bigger discussion is going to be how do we approve different vaccines that we don't necessarily use here in the United States? And that is going to have to be something that we're going to struggle with and try and answer in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. A lot of research going on there. Okay, final, very important question. What is your Halloween costume? And can we take the kids trick-or-treating?
My Halloween costume is a set of scrubs and a stethoscope because I'll be working. But yes, we can take the. I love working on Halloween. I get everyone's end of their Halloween. It can sometimes end not in a great way. But my answer to whether or not we can have kids outside, absolutely. Outdoor activities have been and still remain low-risk activities. And again, if you have any concern, you can try involving a mask in your child's costume.
All right. So the doctor playing a doctor, Darian Sutton. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.